Hello, everybody. This is Staff Minister Drew Carter bringing you Grace's Sunday School preview for the coming up Lesson 4 in the Northwestern Publishing House materials for your virtual Sunday School. That's coming this Sunday, May 9th. The Lesson 4, that your Sunday school teachers, your virtual Sunday school teachers, will be covering this Sunday is Zacchaeus. That's a very popular, very common story in the Bible, one that you've probably heard before. And so I'm going to talk to you today in our preview about disappointment. And you'll see why at the end of my preview here. But we're going to talk about disappointment. And I want you to think of a time that you met someone or finally got to do something that you've really looked forward to. You've really looked forward to meeting this person. You've really looked forward to doing this activity. You really look forward to owning this toy, whatever it might be, and then you get it, and it's just not quite what you imagined it to be. I'm going to focus on two stories from my life where I was disappointed, and I'm going to use these two stories because they both involve meeting someone who was famous, or having a chance to meet someone who was famous, and that will line up with your story of Zacchaeus you'll hear this Sunday. But you can think of any time you were disappointed in something, whether it was a toy or an event or whatever it might have been. And so my first story, I was in college and I went to a music festival. And as we walked into this music festival, one of the bands that was playing, and it happened to be a band that I was planning on seeing that day for the music festival, well, they were taking pictures and signing autographs by the front gate of this music festival. It was early in the morning. They weren't playing until later that day. And they were taking pictures and chatting with people and doing it for free. When you get older and maybe can go to a music festival, or if you've gone to Summerfest maybe with your parents, but if there's an opportunity to get signatures and pictures from the bands, well, then it's usually not free. You're normally waiting in a line and you're paying for it. And so this was free. This was a totally cool opportunity to go meet someone that I listened to their music and chat with them a little bit and take a picture and do it for free. And I did not do it. My two friends I went with did it. I actually took their pictures with one of the band members and did not get in that picture, did not chat with this band. And so the crowd was big, and I didn't really necessarily feel like waiting in line, although my friends did, so maybe I should have anyway. But that was disappointing to me. I had a chance to meet this person, and I didn't really get to meet them. Now my other story is about a book signing. If you have an author that you really like when you grow up, or maybe you even already have an author that you really like, a certain book series that you just love, and imagine that you get the opportunity to go get your book signed, one of your books signed by the author. They're in town, they're at a Barnes and Noble or whatever other kind of bookstore, and they're signing things. And all you have to do is wait in line, and then you get to meet them and take a picture with them and get your stuff signed. Well, this time I did wait in line. This time I was there and I had a mission, and I was with my sister and a friend, and I was going to meet this person whose books I really liked. And I get to my front of the line. I get to say like 2 words to the guy as he signs my book. We snap a quick picture, and then you move on. There's other people waiting in line. And so while it's really cool, I still really appreciate that I have this book signed by this author. The experience was a little disappointing. I waited in line a long time to get a picture and a signature, sure, but the whole thing is quick and maybe a little lackluster to me in that moment. And not saying you shouldn't ever go to a book signing, it can be a lot of fun. But those are two instances where I had the chance to meet someone famous and I didn't, and I was disappointed that I didn't meet them. But then I also met someone who was famous, and that was a little disappointing too, because you don't get to spend a lot of time with that person or talk to them very much. And so I'm talking about disappointing times. And I'm talking about disappointing times to set up this story because Zacchaeus gets to meet Jesus, and Jesus does not disappoint. Zacchaeus goes through a whole lot to get to see Jesus, to make sure he can see Jesus, and he was not disappointed. And in our lives, Jesus is not disappointing either. Jesus took care of everything. Jesus is our perfect Savior. There's nothing disappointing about what Jesus does for us. He is, at the same time, the most famous person we could ever possibly imagine meeting, and the one famous person that we guarantee we will get to meet, because we'll be with him in heaven, and it won't be disappointing. It will be the most amazing thing we ever get to do, is spend eternity with Jesus. So I want you to think about that. That's why I set up the disappointing meetings of famous people, because I really want you to think about how Jesus isn't disappointing, and we will get to meet him someday. The most famous, powerful, he's God, and we get to meet him. We know we get to meet him when we go to heaven, and how amazing that's going to be. We hope that these previews and that the virtual Sunday school continues to be a blessing to those of you who use and utilize these resources. We will be continuing this through the summer. I believe NPH will be continuing this through the summer as well. So we shouldn't be missing a beat. We'll continue to do this and provide this for you. Hopefully getting really ready for a big reset in fall with in-person vaccines over the summer and such. But we know and understand people's varying degrees of comfortability, and we will continue to serve you in what ways work best. God's blessings on your worship and on your Sunday school study this weekend. We hope that everybody stays safe and have a great weekend. Bye.